Welcome back. It's the Brady Farkas Show right here, WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. Just talking about the Red Sox. Now move into some local news with the guy who covers local news better than anybody. It's Alex Abrami over at the Burlington Free Press. Alex, thanks for being with us, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Brady.
Well, I appreciate you being with me. You know, you wrote a really interesting piece that came out yesterday in the Free Press on the coaching salaries in the America East men's basketball circuit. What did you find out about how well compensated John Becker is at UVM?
He's very well compensated, and you could argue it's rightly so, given the success of the program in his tenure. He's now in his 10th season. They've won, I believe, 5 outright America East regular season titles. They've been to the NCAA tournament 3 times. They lost that chance, of course, last year with COVID-19. That could have been their 4th. And in that time, like he's like any successful coach in college basketball or college football or wherever, like if you keep having success, you're gonna make more money. And last year, or I guess the past 2 seasons, his bonuses have added up to $245,000. And what was unique and what got me onto the story, because I sort of knew how much he made. I mean, it's public record how much he makes in base salary, which is $334K. But we heard early in January that he got paid out in bonuses of 240K for the past year, and that seemed pretty high. And we sort of looked into it. We asked UVM for some contract details, and what happened was he made like 127K last year. The year before he made like 117, but he got paid out in the same fiscal year.
Okay.
Just, apparently some administrative thing with UVM. One got paid at the start of the 2020 fiscal year in August, and then the other one got paid at the end, like June 30th, like the last day of that fiscal year for the next year. So that's why they got lumped together. And it looks like he got paid all this money for 1 year, but it was really 2 seasons worth of bonuses that he got paid out.
Are those bonuses tied to just straight wins in a season, tournament appearances?
Yeah.
What are they all tied to?
So I'll backtrack a little bit. About after they went pretty much undefeated in the regular season against America East opponents in the 2016-2017 season. Then they beat Albany in the final, and they went to the NCAA tournament and lost to Purdue in a close game. After that, he was sort of like sought after in coaching circles and coaching openings. And obviously he stayed here in Vermont, and he renegotiated his contract. And that's where additional incentives were placed into his contract. A revenue generation bonus, an academic achievement, a coach of the year got added. And the one that sticks out is the revenue generation bonus. And that's basically like the guarantee games that he gets the school to play in. And then he gets a portion of that, 50%. He gets with a cap of $82,000. So like last year they played Cincinnati, they played at Virginia. So when you get those big time games and you get money to come back to the school, he's going to get a piece of that. And I think that's where the bonuses started to get up a little bit, and also because they're really good. So like last year, technically they won the tournament, the America East tournament. Because it was given to them by rule from America East. The top seed, if the championship game is canceled for whatever reason, the top seed gets, or the highest seed remaining gets the automatic bid from the conference.
Yeah.
So from that he got $20K.
Alex, go ahead. Keep going, Alex.
Coach of the year, he got $10K. So because they're really good, and they continue to be the top program in the conference, and he keeps winning coach of the year, those bonus incentives are going to trigger, and he's going to get more money each year. They continue to be good.
Alex Abrami, Burlington Free Press, with us here on the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. It's a two-sided coin. I hear what you're saying, and that these bonuses, some of them are, at least now where the program is, quote, easily attainable. But on the other side of things, they've been so good. Should it all be tied to performance? Because base salary-wise, he's not the highest paid coach in the conference, as you reported.
No, he's out of the – so there's 10 – now there's 10 teams in the conference with the
NJIT edition.
NJIT came in this year. So he's technically, in base salary, he's fourth out of 9 coaches, because we don't have Hartford's numbers, because Hartford's a private institution and they didn't have to respond to the public records request. So we don't know how much John Gallagher makes. So he's in base salary, he's fourth, but in total compensation, he's second to Ryan Odom. Ryan Odom is first in base salary, and then he has some other incentives as well that gets him north of $500K. So, he most successful coach, most successful program of the last 10 years, and he's not the highest paid, but he's still very well compensated for his performance.
Off your story now, a couple of things I want to just kind of whip around with you. I have speculated on this. I have no knowledge of this, but the Boston College job is open, and I have said that Boston College should call John Becker, and if they call, he should listen. Do you think that if Boston College came calling, that's an appealing opportunity for Becker?
I do. I think it's definitely an appealing opportunity. I mean, it all depends on what he wants and what Boston College wants in its next basketball coach. I also know John likes it here. He's built something. They're still waiting for that arena. We all know that's sort of on the back burner, considering what's happened with COVID over the last year, and they've delayed securing the funding necessary to restart that phase of the construction. But they're hopeful that eventually will come through, and I know he wants to see that kind of that's sort of been something he's been campaigning for and wanting for this program to go to the next level. But then, at the same time, if you get offered a job at that level, why would you turn it down? But that's going to be a tough job to get, because there would be many other people in the mix for that. But yeah, his name has been tossed into that. I've seen that in several places. I saw his name pop up for the Penn State job. So you don't know. I think some of that stuff won't be settled until the springtime.
I said this off the top of the show, and I know it's not your direct focus right now, but I don't think the Lake Monsters are going to play this year. I'm just reading the tea leaves. I don't think there's going to be a season this year. So JJ Cooper of Baseball America told me yesterday on social media that they're not playing pro ball. So there's no pro ball happening at Centennial Field. I think it's too late to get a college season going. And the one thing I took for granted is I thought by the summer there would be increased gathering limits to allow you to have a good portion of fans. I'm not so sure that that's going to be the case this summer anymore either. So if they can't bring in fans and can't generate revenue from fans, I'm just wondering if they're going to sit out this season entirely. Do you think that I'm onto something here?
I think so. I don't have any insider knowledge on that, but that I could see that making sense. Maybe they wait and see what happens and see maybe they get some sort of invite from different league next year when things are where we might be returned to something more normal in terms of outdoor settings and stuff like that. And we see what everything is like, post-COVID.
Well, something from out of your comfort zone to in your comfort zone. Give me a quick take on what it is like to cover high school sports now in this winter season. Fanless high school sports. What's the experience been like?
I think it's been good. It's definitely strange. You go to a game and there's really no one there. It's like a scrimmage in a lot of ways, but it's very well executed scrimmage, and everything about it looks like a game, but with no fans, it really changes the atmosphere. And then in some gyms, like you just look like in Essex, they have basically 3 courts. It's one of the bigger gyms in the state. Yeah. And it looks really big when there's no one in there. But there is a plus side, because when you can't get to a game, almost every game is being streamed, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on the National Federation website, whether it's NSN Sports. I think your radio station might do
WDEVradio.com, baby. That's it.
So there are a number of ways to either watch or listen to your favorite high school team. And I think that's something new that's come out of this. We've had games online before, of course, and games being, broadcast on radio, but now we have almost every game in the state online. And I think that's something that stays in the future.
Well, and if you want to learn about your favorite high school team, you can do so in the Burlington Free Press from Alex Abrami. And Alex, man, we appreciate the time, the perspective, great work on the John Becker story. And as I get towards the end of this show, I'm already digesting things that I want to say for tomorrow's show. So, Alex, man, I appreciate it. And we will talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks, Brady.